what is most important for you and Brian when establishing your workflow and collaborating together? And how does that extend to your collaboration with the showrunner?
I think what happens at the beginning is definitely talking about where we want to take the music, the themes, the what we want to represent within the show, because I think there's just so many different ways to approach scoring anything. And I think really what it's about for us is kind of whittling away the stuff that we don't want to do. And then also for me, it's listening to a lot of music and trying to get that sound. So a lot of it will be making playlists of music that I really like. And usually I do, it's classical stuff. I won't do any film score stuff because I don't want to sound like, I don't want to be repeating other people. And so a lot of this, there was a lot of, well, the show is about, there's a lot of famine happening. So for a lot of these characters, it feels like it's the end of the world. And so I keyed into a lot of these big late romantic composers that are very dramatic. And so that was a big part of it. And so talking with Brian about that and kind of making sure we're on the same page. Yeah.
And so are you and Brian, what's the division of labor like between the two of you? I mean, are you in a room together, working together? Are you each working on separate things and passing them back and forth? How does tell me, talk a little bit more about that collaboration.
Yeah, exactly that. It's because I've got my studio here and he's got his at his place. And so a lot of it is just going away, well, talking about it and then going away and kind of trying to come up with the best stuff that we think will suit it. And then there's a lot of back and forth and sending stuff to him and telling him his thoughts and I tell him my thoughts, sort of thing. And it really sort of blooms from there, that kind of workflow.
You mentioning how working off the script is one thing, but then when you actually see the footage, it sometimes plays a little bit differently than you might have read it on the page. And I was thinking about the fact that on this show, you've got these very weighty sort of legendary actors, you're dealing with. You've got Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren, and you're scoring for them. How much do the performances inform your approach to the music?
It's incredible. I think that doing this show and scoring a scene with, it was Helen Mirren in particular, there's so much said that when she doesn't say anything, it's just in her facial expressions. And I remember feeling like I didn't have to do much, it felt that it was all being translated through just her movements, and actually I could hold back and I knew exactly what she was thinking, and which I feel like sometimes it's not always the case with some actors. But yes, I found it was a lot more easier to do a scene with her in, because she's just incredible.